I've got to
Yeah,
believe as a founder, that's just an amazing feeling to know it's working.
yeah, that's awesome.
That's
And really
fantastic.
the community aspect too, it's really, really awesome. A great community.
How many people on your team?
So I'm a one-man team.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. Well, recently I work with another front-end dev now on the website.
Wow.
So he helps me a bit. But until like 1 month ago, it was only me and the
Holy,
community, of course.
holy crap, Sebastian. That's amazing. Like you built all of this by yourself. And have you been managing the community as well?
Yes.
Do you sleep?
A lot actually.
Welcome to Mission DeFi with Brad Nickel, where we explore projects in decentralized finance that are innovating and driving our mission of financial freedom forward. Thank you for listening. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, rate, and review Mission DeFi and spread the word by posting a tweet to the show. All opinions expressed by Brad Nickel or his guests are their opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Black Knox, Material Indicators, or any other affiliated organizations. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Brad Nickel or his guests as an inducement to make a particular investment, follow a particular strategy, or become involved with any project. A project being featured on the show is not an endorsement of that project in any way. This podcast is for informational purposes only. Now, here's Mission DeFi with Brad Nickel.
All right. I am excited today to have with me Sebastian from Gains Network. And Gains is a project that is launching a suite of products in the decentralized finance space. But they have their first product out and going on the Polygon network, and that's G Trade. And G Trade is basically a decentralized trading platform that lets you use leverage to trade cryptocurrencies and for Forex. So, Sebastian, welcome to the show. Really glad to have you here. I know you're anonymous, so if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, about what you're most comfortable discussing, and how you got interested in crypto, and then how we
Sure.
get into Gains Network.
Yeah. So thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it. So I got into cryptocurrency, I would say 3 years ago. And really, I started looking into it when there was the first DeFi boom with, Compound and the first yield farming project.
Sure.
And it was crazy how fast it grew and how it was really a product market fit and people really loved these yield farms. So, but one thing I've noticed is that most of them were like didn't provide any value. They were just inflationary farms that basically took value from the token holders and transferred it to the LPs since it was just printing tokens without any use case or any product, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what got me into DeFi, and I was sure it was possible like to create real value in this domain. And it was something that was unfortunately too rare, I think. And I wanted to contribute my part. And I think I saw that there was a lot of innovation possible, and that's how I started brainstorming ideas. And
Nice.
that's how I found the idea for Gains Network, that is basically minting and burning tokens to create a real use case. So at the start, it was really focused on liquidity. I wanted to see how I could add the use case to yield farms, and I thought, why not add a product on top of it that leveraged a mechanism based on minting and burning tokens. So minting is creating a token, and burning, it's destroying the token, so it doesn't exist anymore. And then I found the use case of leverage trading, but at the very start, I don't think I revealed it already. I wanted to start with something really simple, and I wanted maybe to do binary options. But it turned out that I wanted to do more a leverage trading platform because I think there is more demand, and it was more interested in building a more sophisticated product like this one. And yeah, so that's how I got started with.
Is your background as an engineer, or are you more on the product side, or are you a developer? Did you bring?
Yes,
Yeah,
I have 10 years of experience in dev, mainly web development, but also game development and data science, machine
nice.
learning.
Nice. Very good. Well, that's useful for this. All right. So you were already you started off basically trying to solve liquidity problems, right? Because we all know that yield farming has really become a bit of a failure. I think there's still people that kind of hold on to, building up initial liquidity with that kind of thing, but ultimately
Mhm.
it results in dumping in the market and an
Yeah,
impact on
but
everyone.
but really the thing is, like, most tokens only exist for the sake of having a token. Like, they're not needed in the project. They have no reason to exist really, if not to make money to the team. So that's really what I wanted to tackle, and that's where I wanted to bring value.
So you wanted to tackle the idea that not every project needs a token. How can you make it have value in a
Well,
project?
yeah, I wanted really to build a project where the token is at the core and is really needed for the project to
Got it.
to work. Like, it's not added on top of it just to reward liquidity providers or anything. It's really built into the protocol.
So it's more than just a fundraising mechanism. It has utility, it has
Yeah,
use, and it's important to what you're building.
sure. And in fact, we didn't raise any fund. The project wallet was allocated 10% of the tokens, but they were distributed fairly in a pool. So you just had to put ETH in a pool, and the whole supply was distributed fairly in this pool. So initially the project was called Gains Farm, and it was the GFarm token. And so there was this ETH pool where you got your first GFarm tokens, and then you staked the GFarm ETH LP tokens on Uniswap to make it was also an incentivize for initial liquidity. And the second part of the supply was distributed this way. So it was 38,500 tokens. And now the token has been rebranded to Gains Network because Gains Farm was too much associated with inflationary farms, and it didn't
Uh-huh.
have the connotation we wanted. And it's a 1 to 1,000 split. So now the max supply is, so the current supply is 30 million because there was a lot of burning, but we will come back to this later. So 38,000 times 1,000, there should be like 38 million tokens right now, but there are only, I think we're below 30 million. Like right now it's 29 million
Huh.
500 or so, because the burn has had its effect.
Do you want to kind of climb into the the utility model and the deflationary aspect of the token itself first,
Yeah.
or would you like to get into G Trade first?
So really both are almost the same. So I will
Cool.
explain both at the same
Okay.
time.
Great.
So the main idea behind the G-Trade and Gains Network is the minting and burning of the GNS token. So if to really simplify, because there are quite a lot of layers on top of that, but to simplify, if a trader wins a trade on our platform, GNS tokens are minted, and if he loses, GNS tokens are burned. So
Uh,
that's really the idea behind the platform, is to add a zero sum game. Well, in fact, it's even a negative sum game, if we could call it this way, because it's a fact that most traders tend to lose long term. And so this tends to burn more tokens than it means in the long run. And
Wow,
in about 1 year, we have burned like 20% plus, I think 23% of the supply.
that's amazing. So the tokens are meant to these are these tokens that are the tokens are not given to the trader. It just means that the ecosystem grows if they win.
So it's used in the back end, so in the contract internally, but it's not the trader doesn't interact directly with the GNS token. So at the very start of the platform, traders used to trade with the token. So you traded with one G farm, and if you won, you received more G farm tokens, and if you lost, your G farm token was burned.
Aha.
But it was really not the best user experience because trading is already hard. So if you mix another token with it, it was not the best user experience. Like for example, if I want to trade on Bitcoin, I just want to be exposed to Bitcoin. I don't want to be exposed additionally to another token. So that's why we abstracted the GNS token.
Right?
And now the traders only trade with DAI.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah. And so that's why we need the GNS DAI liquidity pool. It's because traders interact with DAI and it needs to swap between DAI and GNS internally to handle the losses and the profits. And on top of that, there is even another layer, which is our DAI vault, which is really used to spread the minting and the burning over time.
Oh,
So let's say without the DAI vault, someone makes like a huge win of, I don't know, 300,000 on the platform. Without the DAI vault, it will just mint and sell on the market 300,000 worth of GNS, which will be an instant dump, and it's not
oh yeah.
it's bad for volatility and it's not the best. So, and it will also incur a lot of slippage, and technically it's not even doable. That's why we had to limit at the beginning the max position size at 0.3% of the pool, because otherwise you could front run the transactions. But that's really a detail. So on top of that, we added the DAI vault, which role is to really spread the volatility over time of the minting and the burning. So let's say now you open a trade with 100 DAI. Your 100 DAI will go into the DAI vault. And then if you close your trade, your DAI will be taken from the DAI vault and sent to you. And if the DAI vault, let's say it has 2 million in it, well, currently it's 5 million, so let's take 5 million. If it's above its initial balance, it can start buying and burning GNS over time in small increments to reduce the volatility.
Nice.
And if it's below its initial balance, it can mint and sell GNS also very slowly over time.
So you don't have a ton of new tokens coming into the market and getting dumped, and you don't have a massive
Yeah.
burn all at once.
In
It's a
case,
gradual process.
yeah, it really smoothes the liquidity and reduces the risk in case if there is a win. Or it makes the system very robust, and it also allows very big position sizes on the platform compared to our TVL, to our total value locked. Because currently, for example, we can have like 50,000 DAI trades at a maximum leverage of 150x. So if I
Wow.
calculate that quickly, it's like 7.5 million position, and we have a 5 million DAI vault.
Wow.
So that sounds quite surprising, but really is because another important factor of our architecture is that only the collateral go through the liquidity. The leverage is fully virtual, it's fully synthetic, because the GNS token is used to handle the losses and the wins. So we don't need to actually borrow the leverage and use order books and do as derivatives platforms do usually. We just get to simulate, if we want, the P&L of traders using the GNS tokens.
We've kind of taken a dive into the tokenomics of it, and I think we can come back to it. But in terms of a trader coming into trade, so everything is done in DAI. You're basically making your
Mhm.
bets on the outcomes of a trade utilizing. But
Yes.
everything in the platform, or I'm assuming this is that every trade is a leverage trade. Is that the norm?
Yes,
Okay.
currently the minimum leverage is 5.
So every trader that comes in here to trade is willing to trade on leverage and it's
Mhm.
at least 5x, right? So what do you think kind of at a high level attracts people to, I mean, obviously the simple answer is the reason people want to trade on leverage is they want to make a lot more on their trades, right? But
Well, the real technical answer will be that if you want to trade on smaller time frames, like for example 1 hour or 5 minutes, the candlestick charts. If you want to do trading on smaller time frames, you will trade on very small price movements. So let's say if you swing trade over weeks, you will maybe play trades to win 30% or 50% or more. But if you go to the hourly chart or the 5 minute chart, you will play like 1, 2, 3% moves
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah,
And if you want to make, let's say your trade setup is your take profit is at plus 3% of the current price. If you want to make more percent profit on your collateral with this same price movement, you have to use leverage. It's just a tool to increase your exposure. And it doesn't mean you just go 150x and try to get the whole bull run. And you can do this if you want. It's quite funny, but the main goal of leverage is to allow we call them scalpers or day traders to really increase their exposure and to have high percentage profits even on small moves.
I,
And you know that doesn't mean you have like bad risk management or anything. You can just see, for example, a chart pattern on the 5 minute chart, and like your take profit is at plus 3%, your stop loss is at minus 1%, and if you want to make more than 3% on your trade, because like if you put 100 die in your trade, you will do 3 die. Like that's not the best, and if you lose, you will lose like 1 die. So why not on your same trade make a 30 die and lose and risk 10 die?
no, I could
And
definitely see the logic and the desire to do
yeah,
that. It makes sense.
yeah.
You know, it's very interesting because I'm a partner in a company that it's a trading tools company. So we have dashboards and analytics tools and all kinds of
Mhm.
stuff. But we have a mean reversion indicator, and it's the primary tool I use for trading on centralized exchanges. And it uses 1 minute candles, right? And so on average, our trades on that close at like 1.25% profit within 2 to 3 hours max, usually sooner than that. And so these kinds of trades are exactly the right scenario for G trade, right? It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, which wouldn't work. Our mean reversion indicator wouldn't work on a traditional DEX because the time frames are just too small to be able to execute the trade
Mhm.
fast enough on the regular DEXs.
Yeah, and if you want like a correct exposure, you really need the leverage. Otherwise, you have to use like 100,000 die or something to make a few hundred die. So
Exactly.
while it's not really necessary, if you have placed a stop loss and you know how to manage risk, you can do the same with less capital.
Could you, for people, we have a group, we have some folks who are pretty new to trading, and then we have very experienced people in the group. Could you
Mm.
briefly explain to people what leverage trading is like? Like, we talked about kind of, okay, you're betting 5x, whatever, but
Mhm.
can you kind of walk the average what the average kind of trade setup would be like? And
Yeah. So let's say you were to use like 10x leverage and 100 die. So this means if the price moves 10% up, you will have and you long, so that means you want the price to go up. That means you will do 100% profit. So 10% price move times the 10x leverage.
got it.
But
That-
if the price goes down on our platform, the liquidation threshold is set at minus 90%. So if the price goes down minus 9%, your trade can be liquidated, and then you will lose everything because otherwise your position will go into negative. So that's not possible. We
Right,
don't want to let that happen.
right, because then you're exposed as a platform, right? So your
Yeah,
platform is meant to
but
act
really the
fast on that.
yeah, but really the cool thing is the trader is really not at risk. Like even if it were not, if the trade was not liquidated instantly, the risk would be on the platform and not on the trader.
Sure,
So because on other platforms, sometimes they will close some other trades that you have, or just take money from your account to fund the trades. But G-Trade really works in isolated margin. So this means if you put 100 DAI in your trade, you can only lose 100 DAI, which I think is really fair because, in my
yeah,
opinion, when you are a beginner and you will come on a platform like this, and let's say you have like 1,000 DAI in your account and you do a 100 DAI trade, you don't think that this 100 DAI trade could make you lose your whole account of 1,000 DAI. And in fact, if you go like on Binance or any other exchange, if you have checked cross margin, a bad trade can like make you lose your whole account. So I don't
sure.
think it's really fair for beginners. And to be honest, I don't really see the use case, but I guess you can. It's a risk management thing. You can add to your losing positions, or
It makes a lot more sense the way you guys do it, right?
at least for high leverage. To me, it makes a lot more sense to have it separated for each trade.
Yeah,
So
no, that totally makes sense. When a trader wins, the additional die from the leverage component of that, that's coming out of the vault. Is that correct?
yes, the die vault.
Yeah. So you guys, because over time people lose, you're building up the die on the ones that have been liquidated, and then when people win, they get paid out of that. And you have controls to as you were saying earlier, to make sure you always have enough funds to be able to pay if
Mhm.
somebody.
Really, the die vault, when it has some excess of die because of loose trade, it will buy and burn GNS with it. So the stakers in the die vault only earn from the fees.
Aha.
They're not really related to the PNL on the platform. By the way, I will just send you the we have a stats dashboard. Maybe you can have
Oh
a look
yeah,
at it or include it somewhere.
absolutely. I'll put it in
And
the video
yeah,
in the show
and
notes.
if you go at the bottom left, you should see Gains Network, Die Vault, depletions and refills. And that's exactly the die accumulated by the die vault. So
Nice.
the orange line is the excess of die compared to the die staked, and the blue line is the GNS, is the die used to buy and burn GNS. So the blue line is slightly below because it doesn't buy and burn GNS with the whole excess of die. It leaves like a 10% buffer to have it always slightly over collateralized. In case there is a win, we don't immediately drop below the staked amount. We have a 10% buffer.
Nice. So there's no real risk there of the whole vault being wiped out for one trade.
No,
Right.
there is a max open interest per pair. So that's the first limit against that. And also our next version, the V6, which is coming very soon in the following weeks, introduces a max open collateral limit for per asset class. So let's say we have, for example, 5 million in the vault. We can do it so that only 2 million of trades can be open at any time on all cryptocurrencies. And that's also another risk management measure that we can use. But
Um,
really, until now, there has been no significant drawdown on the vault, like really, really small drawdowns, like 10, 20%. So
so
for the
all the
moment,
complex modeling that you did in advance to build this thing has paid off.
yeah,
But it sounds like a really complex job.
yeah. But really, what I want to emphasize too is that it's a win-win for everyone, not only for investors, because investors bet, of course, on traders losing in the long run.
Sure.
But by the way, that doesn't mean if you're a winning trader that you can't come and make an income out of trading. It's just that the sum of all traders is slightly losing over time. And
Absolutely.
even if it wasn't losing, the platform could still work. It doesn't even need the deflation, it just needs to be stable. So, but really, I wanted to put emphasis on the fact it's a win for investors and liquidity providers. Excuse me, because they get to own a share of this decentralized leverage trading exchange, and we'll talk about this later also. But they receive fees from the platform, and token holders receive the deflation. But also, the traders have a really, really good trading experience. Like, I can't even compare it to another platform. For example, there is no funding fee, which is completely unique in leverage trading. There is no slippage on trades. The trading fees are approximately 2 times lower than our competitors. And really, really, the trading experience is, I believe, above everything else.
And you get the speed and performance of the trades because this is synthetically you're trading a synthetic essentially.
Yeah, yeah. So we don't have order books for each pair. It's a big, big advantage that we have. Everything is synthetic, and we use our custom Chainlink decentralized Oracle network to fetch the prices in real time. And so we don't need to build liquidity for each pair. We just fetch the price in real time. And by the way, it's the spot price. So that's another advantage that traders have on our platform. It's that they can leverage trade the spot price of an asset, which is really unheard of outside of our platform. And it's even better than that because it's the aggregated spot price from 7 exchanges. So that means, for
Wow.
example, if an exchange, a single exchange has too much volatility and suddenly there is a big week or something, a big price move that happens only on one exchange, it will get filtered out. So it's really a good protection for leverage traders.
Yeah, so that if there was a massive wick down on one
Yeah,
exchange, it's not going to impact your trade because there are 7 exchanges basically feeding the price data.
exactly.
That's
And
fantastic.
if the price move happens on all exchanges, then it's the real price. So
Nice.
you always trade the real price.
You're making me want to jump into this trading contest right now. You guys
Yeah,
have a
we have
contest going.
we have really nice prices going. Polygon is helping us and sponsors the competition
Nice.
with 50,000 Matic. So right now,
Wow.
that's about 80,000. And we also contribute 20,000 to the prices. And I believe the first place earns like 30,000.
Very nice.
I can double check. And also the top 1,000 traders are rewarded. So you are almost sure to win if you have a positive profit,
Awesome.
because that's the only condition to be qualified. So currently we reward 1,000 traders and there are only 790 entries. So if you just come on the platform and make a positive trade, you will win a small prize for sure.
Nice. I love that. What a great opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get this episode out sooner than later so people can take advantage of that. And you're on Polygon obviously because of performance and
Mhm.
low fees. Those are all probably critical because you don't want people that are trying to day trade having to pay Ethereum like fees on every trade.
Yeah, so we started on Ethereum at the beginning and we migrated to Polygon.
Nice.
At the time, the platform was running on Ethereum and it was really basic. It was not what it is now. There was only Ether and it used the price. I mean, it was really, really basic. And opening a trade costed like $100 and closing it costed also $100.
Yeah.
So it
That's
was not the
brutal.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially if you're trading on like, 1.5% profit. That's brutal.
but we had quite some volume, but
Nice. Nice.
yeah, but
Because the only
really,
people that can trade are the ones doing $100,000 trade or
yeah.
something.
So, but really, Polygon allows us to reach our potential. So, and also for scalping or day trading, for example, if your trade takes 2 minutes to open, it's not
Yeah.
obviously not the best.
So
So on Polygon, it takes about 5 seconds for a trade to open, and it costs about 30 cents or something. And also with the V6 version coming very soon, we have big gas optimizations, so everything will cost even less.
nice. Are you planning on expanding to other chains, or are you going to stay with Polygon for now?
So at the moment, we have decided that the right move is to stay only on Polygon because at our current stage, it would just fragment the liquidity on multiple chains and
Sure.
would be more harm, would do more harm than good. So, but really, the end game for our platform would be to be deployed on a ZK rollup. That's what I'm really excited about.
Nice. But they would have to obviously you would need the volume there, and you would need it's a growth process, right? You build up a
Yeah.
lot of people who are using it that could then move with you onto that.
Mhm. It's yeah, and it's at least like 6 months out. So, but the good thing is Polygon is working on 3 different, I believe. So
They
we
just
have
made an
chosen,
announcement the other day, didn't they, about it?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, about yeah, a few weeks ago or something. So we are really glad to have chosen Polygon for
very
this.
nice. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with that team. They are every one of my interactions with them has been just fantastic. I'm impressed with how they operate, their ethic about everything. It's just I think they're a good plus for the DeFi space.
Mhm. Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Absolutely. Um, in terms of the platform itself, the G Trade? I mean, is there anything else that people should know about it in terms of the experience of trading, not being a liquidity provider or anything else, but in terms of the oh, I was going to ask you, it says 40 plus currencies. How
Mhm.
do you pick the currencies that you allow onto the exchange? Is this like a review process you have to go through? Is there
Yes.
volume
So we
related?
can, yeah, it has to be like a big cryptocurrency, otherwise the price can be manipulated easily and we can't allow big position sizes on it.
Right.
So ideally it has to be in the top 100
Okay.
and have quite some liquidity. And it also has to have a chilling price feed because we
Aha.
use the chilling price feeds as a backup
Sure.
for our decentralized Oracle network. And so currently we have listed, yeah, 43 cryptocurrency pairs. And it's really, really quite amazing how we can list pairs so easily. Like it takes just 5 minutes to add them into the contract.
Nice.
While on another platform, they have to build like 1 million of liquidity in the new order books. And it's really not
You
that
don't have to
easy.
do any of that.
Yeah, if it was that easy, trust me, like all other platforms will have 100 cryptocurrencies and up to 150x.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes complete sense. When you talked about the 7 exchange feeds that you pull from, are those centralized exchanges where you're pulling feeds?
Yes, so there are spot prices from the 7 top centralized exchanges, but we can put, if we want, in the median, we can include also decentralized exchanges.
Very nice.
It's just that the APIs were very good and reliable for decentralized exchange, and I didn't see a need to include the decentralized one, but it can be done in the future if you want.
Sure, sure. In terms of utilizing this platform, if I have a set of bots set up somewhere where I'm automating my alerts and signals on my trades,
Mhm.
is that something I can integrate with the platform to automate my trading?
So you can run bots, yes, you can because the platform is fully on chain.
Cool.
So you can interact with it in JavaScript or Python, for example, using Web3,
Nice.
the Web3 library, and you can connect it to any signal or bot that you have, and just open and close trades automatically. Yes, it can be done. We don't have an API ourselves for this because the platform is fully on chain. So you can just it's just basically you just need to automate the interaction with the contract, and that's exactly what Web3 the library is made for. So
and that overcomes the need to sign every transaction, I assume?
When you do a bot like this, generally, I mean, you have to put a private key in it so
Right.
that it can sign the transactions.
Got it.
Otherwise,
Right.
you can't execute transactions.
You'd have to be sitting here all day looking for the pop-ups.
Well, you could do also a bot that interacts with the website,
Uh-huh.
but
Yeah, that would not be, yeah, you don't
that's
want to.
not the cleanest way of doing it.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can totally agree with that. Okay, so let's climb a little bit into the other thing I wanted to bring up is you have 10 Forex pairs. What kind of pairs are
Yeah.
those?
So we have the 10 major forex pairs: USD CAD, USDT, Swiss franc, USD JPY, etc. We really have all the major ones.
Nice.
And it was quite a significant milestone because it's a market with closed hours. It's closed on the weekends,
Mhm.
and it was an additional technical challenge. So I'm glad we have this already.
How
And by the way, we are the only decentralized leverage trading platform to have Forex.
how long have you guys been live?
So on Polygon, really, the platform has been live like 6 months
Oh,
because the
okay.
six first months were on Ethereum, and it was really not the platform it is right now. So uh, really, 6 months.
Okay. Okay. And you've had 3.7 billion volume all times.
Yeah, and that's not even in 6 months. That's like in the last 3 months.
Wow.
Because it's the V5 volume. So it's the volume since the last version release. And yeah, we are really happy of this number.
That's phenomenal, man. And so how did you guys get, people interested in it from the beginning? Was there something that somebody talked about the project or that really
It
drove
was
people to you?
really, yeah, so it was really, really organic.
Nice.
Like from the base, from the start, we started from 0 members in Telegram and everything. Just sharing on Reddit, Twitter, 4chan, just building the community organically. So it took quite some time, but now we have an amazing community, really. The most of the community is on Telegram. So if you guys are interested in following the progress and join our community, I recommend to join our Telegram.
And they can find the Telegram on your website, which is gains.trade.
Yes, in the bottom part.
Cool. Very cool. In terms of participating in, do you find that most of your community are active traders, or do you have a big part of your community that just like the project and think that it has potential as a project in the space and the token and all of that?
We have a very big part of the community that trades on the platform, or at least has done a few trades. But we have quite a few regular traders. And yeah, so we have investors, of course, sorry, that like the GNS token and that stake liquidity and earn fees from the platform. And we have traders also, but also some do both. So like they trade on the platform and they also earn the revenue from it and benefit from the GNS deflation, which is quite cool, really, because you get to trade and earn the fees from your own
That's
trades.
beautiful, right? So it kind of offsets the pain.
You
when
play
you
both
promote.
parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
It can even be seen as a hedge.
Hedge.
Yeah.
I love it. That's an awesome model. I never would have thought of that. The nature of the token being deflationary, having a stake, investing on the liquidity side hedges your experience trading
Yeah.
if you haven't had a good day.
Like you can put 10% of your whole trading portfolio in it, and you just set it aside, and it's your insurance.
And what kind of fees are there on the platform per trade?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Oh, what I was asking you what the fees are for trading.
Oh yeah, so there is a 0.08% fee per order.
Okay,
So that's including if you do a limit order, but if you don't use limit orders, it will be 0.06%.
got it.
And we have quite a few competitors that charge 0.1%. So
Right.
that's 20 to 40% below the average.
That's excellent. That's excellent. So, What the opportunities are for being a liquidity provider for the protocol and and you said staking. Can you kind of walk us through what people can
Yes.
do?
So just to finish on the fees, there is
Oh,
also
sorry.
no funding fee, which is very very important because I've seen quite a few traders trade on other platforms with high leverage, like 30x or so.
Uh-huh.
And after a few weeks, their trade is completely gone just from funding fees.
Oh,
So that's really, really unfair.
yeah. So you've spent all this time and effort, and you've profited potentially from your
Yeah.
trades, but they
And
get
your
taken
trade
away.
just expires, you know.
Wow.
So
No, I
yeah,
definitely see the advantage there.
that's something amazing we can offer because you, the funding fee is a mechanism used to balance the long and the short on a perpetual contract.
Right?
Because for example, if you go to Binance, you want to trade Bitcoin with leverage, you won't trade actually the price of Bitcoin, you will trade a perpetual contract, which is supposed to follow the price of Bitcoin. And if there are too many longs, this means the price of the perpetual is above the spot price, which is not good because they want the price to stay accurate compared to the spot price.
Sure.
So there is a fee for all longs opened, if to keep them open, if there are more longs than short, to incentivize the price of the perpetual to come back to the spot price.
Huh.
But that's something we really don't need since we directly use spot prices. So that's
Very
a
nice.
big difference.
Very nice. Wow. Just really seems like across the board for traders, it's a superior experience and product. It's interesting. We have my trading firm, Material Indicators. We have a community of about 6,000 active traders, and probably
Hmm.
70% of them use leverage. And I
Mhm.
think, and many of them have dabbled in DeFi, but I think actually this could be a really strong gateway for centralized exchange traders to jump in and find out more about
Yeah,
DeFi, right?
we have quite a few traders that have stopped trading on centralized exchanges and only trade on GTrade now.
Yeah, we have a lot of institutional traders and whale traders in our community. I think this could be very interesting for them to take a look at. So liquidity and earning GNS or GenS. Tell me about that. What are the opportunities?
So there are three opportunities to participate in the project. You can, of course, buy and hold the GNS token if you want. If you think the deflation trend will continue, it's not guaranteed, of course. Past performance is not the future, you know.
Sure.
So, but if you think it will stay the same, then you can get exposure this way. And also, we have two solutions for liquidity providers. We have our GNS DAI pool, which is crucial for the ecosystem because we really need to be able to swap between GNS and DAI easily and with low slippage and everything for the inner mechanism of the platform. And we have 17 million of TVL right now in GNS DAI, earning currently 64% APY
Nice.
and they earn GNS tokens and DQuick rewards because the liquidity pool is on QuickSwap, and they kindly give us DQuick rewards
Oh, nice.
for the volume we bring.
Sure.
And so that's the first opportunity. You pair the GNS token with DAI, you add liquidity to QuickSwap, you stake it on our platform, and you earn trading fees from the leverage trading platform.
Very nice.
And then there is the DAI vault. So the DAI vault is really necessary because that's what the traders interact with since they trade with DAI. And you also get a share of the trading fees, but this time it's in DAI. And currently there is 4.5 million TVL, and the APY is 16%, which is pretty good for a stable coin only with
Oh,
no
yeah.
impermanent loss or and exposure to DAI only. So if you
That,
want to participate this way with lower risk, you can also. And we have recently partnered with Insurace to also offer insurance against smart contract risks. So for 4% per year, you can buy insurance and then stake in the DAI vault and earn 16%. So you make 12% net APY, and you are even insured against potential smart contract risks.
That's fantastic. And when you're doing something with Genesis, you're also in a token that's primarily deflationary, right? So
Yes,
you would expect that that deflationary impact would have a positive effect overall on the value. So on top of kind of the earning that you're doing, you're also have the potential that as it grows and becomes as the platform grows and uses
yes.
and becomes more deflationary, that the scarcity drives price up as well.
Yeah, recently there was a lot of deflation. If we take the last 30 days and project that to 1 year, the deflation rate is 24.65% of the
That's
supply.
amazing. Yeah, that's what
So
made me think of it. I'm
that's quite
looking at it on
insane.
your staking page.
Yeah, it might not be sustainable this high, but usually it was like more 10% or something. But it's really quite impressive.
So you must be at this point really pleased with how the concept has played out so far, right? The
Yeah,
vision versus what actually occurred.
yeah. I'm so glad that the implementation wasn't that hard because the idea is really, really simple and works well. And we had quite a few innovations to do to make this work without any HKs or exploit possible or anything. And that's how we came up. That's why we came up with the die vault and everything. It really makes the platform more robust and ready to handle adoption. And so mainly the idea was really simple. The implementation was also easy, and there was a few innovations, but not too much complications. Like it was pretty easy.
It must be a relief to see that people are gravitating to it and that people are using it and enjoying it, and you built a community around it. I've got to
Yeah,
believe as a founder, that's just an amazing feeling to know it's working.
yeah. That's awesome.
That's
And really
fantastic.
the community aspect too. It's really really awesome. A great community.
How many people on your team?
So I'm a one man team.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. Well, recently I work with another front end dev now on the website.
Wow.
So he helps me a bit, but until like 1 month ago, it was only me and the
Holy
community, of course.
Holy crap, Sebastian, that's amazing. Like, you built all of this by yourself, and have you been managing the community as well?
Yes,
Holy crap. Do you sleep?
a lot actually.
Wow,
10 hours.
that's fantastic. I'm happy if I get 6. That's incredible. That is an awesome
Thanks,
story,
man.
man. That is really amazing.
Thank
I mean, I was thought you were gonna answer 15 people.
you.
Swear to God.
Yeah, yeah, other projects have other similar projects have like teams of 30 people or so, like DYDX, for example, or Perp.
Unbelievable. I am so impressed. So I mean, I've talked to a lot of projects and some really brilliant people, but this is pretty phenomenal. Wow.
And really, the implementation is not the same as designing the architecture. It's one thing to design the architecture and everything, but then you have to be good at implementing it and
Wow.
not keeping bugs or you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can't even imagine how I mean, the development and the launch of it and then maintaining
Yeah.
it's just wow.
Oh, by the way, we have 630 audits. Every time we push an update to mainnet, we make an audit with Certic. They review the code and
Awesome.
I implement the recommendations. And oh, by the way, I also unit test everything to 100% coverage, and then I send the audit. And right now we have the V6 coming in a few weeks, and I finished the unit test like 1 week ago, and it should take something like 1 week or so.
Wow. Yeah, I love how you say we. You can say we now because you have a front end developer. That's good.
Yeah, and I say yeah, I also say we for the community because
I know. I'm
the
just kidding with
community
you.
plays a big part.
I mean, dude, I cannot believe you've done this all by yourself. That's incredible. Absolute. That's That's the best part of this story. I mean, the product is amazing and everything else, but the fact that you're doing this by yourself, I mean, most people can't keep up with a community by themselves, much
Yeah,
less,
yeah, yeah.
much less build the product. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. So what's next for the platform? I mean, I know you have this vision of a suite of projects, but are there other things you want to add to G Trade first or
Yeah, so really next 6 months to 1 year is really will be really focused on Gtrade to add all remaining features we want.
right?
So we have the V6 coming in like a few weeks, and it will bring a lot of great optimizations, like for example, guaranteed stop losses, because since everything is synthetic, we get to guarantee the stop losses. So even if the price slips through your stop, it will still use the price of your stop loss. So you can't lose more
Ah,
than your stop loss.
very nice.
Sorry.
Wow.
And also there are a lot of gas improvements, so much less gas costs.
Huh.
And we will lift some limits. So we will introduce a better risk management method. So that will be the max open collateral per asset class, and this will allow us to allow more DAI per trade. So we will be able to raise this limit. And also we have limit orders, so stop losses, take profits, and open like long short limit orders, and they are run by our NFT bots. So they are just bots that hold NFTs, because we also have NFTs, and one of their use cases is triggering orders on the platform.
What?
And
Okay, wait, you have to rewind here for me.
okay,
Okay, explain to me you have NFTs, which we didn't get to yet, and then
yeah.
how does that function within the context of the platform?
So if you go to gainsnetwork.io, you will see on the homepage the design for the NFTs. We recently redid them, and we will release the new
They're
NFTs soon
crazy.
with the embedded art, because right now they don't have the art embedded in them. So if
Ah,
you put them on OpenSea, it doesn't show, so it's not ideal.
okay.
But really, the NFTs are just another way of owning a share of the ecosystem. They have so obviously they are cool. They are like your rank in the ecosystem if you want, and they unlock different features. So the first one is they allow you to execute limit orders on the platform. So for example, if because the platform is fully decentralized, and since it's on the blockchain, we can't like say the trades are closed automatically once the stop loss is reached. So if it's since we are on the blockchain, every state change needs transaction. So that's why we need bots running. And since we don't want to run them ourselves and just make it centralized, we have invented a whole NFT bot system. And basically, you just run a bot. It's a simple JavaScript code, and you connect your wallet to it. You put your private key, and your wallet must hold one NFT at least. And then you can trigger limit orders on the platform and receive a fee against that.
Huh.
You receive 0.02%.
And so each NFT version of the NFT has different things that it unlocks for a trader.
So for the limit orders, it's they all act the same, but they also have two other use cases. So first, they reduce the spread on the trading platform. So if you have, for example, the one on the right, the fifth NFT, your spread will be reduced by 35% when you trade,
Oh,
which is pretty significant.
sure.
And it's by rank. So the first one is 5% reduction, 10, 15. Sorry, it's it's not 5, 10. I just forgot. I will check the docs. Let me see. So it's, sorry, 15, 20, 25%, 30, 35%. So they reduce the spread, which is so on the trading platforms, since everything is synthetic, there is no price impact. To be sure, there are not bots who exploit very, very small price movements, and to make the platform more robust, we had to introduce a spread, which is very small, But basically, it means if you open a long trade, you long slightly above the current price, and if you short slightly below the current price. So
Sure.
it's like a small fee.
Right.
And if you hold an NFT, you will get less of this fee. And then the last use case is if you stake liquidity in GNS DAI and you stake an NFT, you can stake up to 3 NFTs in the pool. They will boost your deposits. So they will boost your APY.
Very nice. Very nice. So this is awesome because it really kind of weds traders and community into the project even further with the NFTs because it empowers
Yeah.
them, but also it empowers you to earn more money. It empowers you to change aspects of how you trade and improve it. That's really interesting. How's the response been to the NFTs?
So you mean the art or what's
No,
what
I mean, how have people really kind of utilized them? Have you had the level of uptake or use of the and buying of the
Yeah.
NFTs? Yeah,
Yeah, so there is quite some trading on OpenSea already,
nice.
but it's not at its full potential yet because the art is not embedded, and we will tackle that in a few months. We can reach their full potential.
Any other surprises you have that are part of the current platform?
Not really, no surprise.
Okay.
But there is a second trading contest coming at the end of this one. So this one ends the 7th of February.
Uh-huh.
And then there will be a new one, also a second one with big prices, also sponsored by Polygon and us, approximately 1 month after. So
So
that
you're
will
also
be
managing
really cool.
business development too.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, I think you can say that. But I
Partnerships,
have
etc.
I have a lot of community members who help me a lot also for that. So
Cool.
I'm really grateful.
Well, look, I think that a community grows and does better and wants to help more when they feel like things are genuine and that you've really thought through
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
offer, right? They feel like
that's really key.
solid.
Really, yeah, that's a very important aspect is everything is genuine.
Yeah.
So people feel that, and it's really awesome because we get to offer a win-win for everyone, for investors, for traders, for liquidity providers,
Yeah.
and it's people feel that. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
now,
Nah, people can sense that and they decide to it, you don't have to be the nice thing about it is because you've proven the genuine nature of it with the actual product, it comes
Mhm.
through instead of having to hype it, right? So you don't have to
Yeah,
feel like you're constantly hyping. You're just creating a great product.
yeah, it was quite the opposite. I had to force myself to focus on marketing and to bring users because a great project is nothing without users.
That's true. That's very true. What was there something that really worked well to get people on board in terms of what you did in marketing?
Well, we've had recently a campaign with Market Across, a marketing agency. They did some
Oh,
PR
good.
for us, and this was really good to build our presence on Google,
Yeah,
and that was really good. But to really bring more users, the most effective is community marketing, like
sure.
by far.
Yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely.
memes,
Yep.
and everything.
And I think down the line you could partner with other protocols and they could drive users to you as well. So that's always a
Yeah, a good thing is everyone will be able to run a white label version of the platform and
really
earn a fee. Yeah. So we have a referral system. If you refer traders, you earn 0.02% of their trades, and your address is stored forever on the blockchain. So even if they don't use your referral link after, you will still earn the 0.02%. So this fee can be used to build white label platforms. Like for example, you just build another website that also connects to the smart contracts, and I don't know, for example, you translate it to Chinese, for example, if you want to
right.
attract Chinese traders. So you bring value this way, and then you are rewarded with the referral fee on each trade, which also incentivizes the decentralization of the front end.
So someone could be a referral and
Mhm.
slowly build up enough revenue from that, that eventually they could launch a website with their own brand that has
Yeah, yeah,
the
totally.
interface to G Trade in it, but it's like
Mhm.
their brand.
Yeah, and you can do the design you want. You can just building another website that interacts with the smart contracts.
Is there like a minimum amount of users that people have to do, or is this something people could just do anytime they
No,
wanted?
anyone can do it. We already have one which with Polydoge, another meme cryptocurrency on Polygon, and
Sure.
they host another front end which is really nice. That means, for example, if our front end is down, then people can use theirs. So, and eventually, the goal is really to have a lot of different white labels and different front ends, so that the project is truly decentralized, because that's the goal from the start.
Yeah. Do you have any, are you able to disclose kind of other products you may build for Gates Network later?
So leveraging the same mechanism behind G-Trade, so the mint and burn, the casino will fit really well.
Ah,
So I think so, but that's at least 6 months out.
that's
But
very nice.
that will be really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that well, that makes total sense. Like if you have a platform that's performant and this high speed capability, it makes total sense to be able to kind of leverage that into a casino. Leverage traders are probably very inclined to also want to play casinos.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Some traders treat it like casino, so everyone is free to treat it like they want. Some traders can do it maybe even professionally, like you can seriously earn a good income from leverage trading if you're good.
Yeah,
And some traders can treat it like gambling. It's everyone is free
nice.
to do what he wants. And but really, I'm glad we chose decentralized leverage trading first because the casino market right now on blockchain is much smaller,
Yeah,
and the fees are quite smaller, I believe.
makes
So I've looked into other projects, and I'm quite happy we started with leverage trading.
no, I think this was a good first step. It's a great way to get adoption. It's familiar in concept to a lot of people that are in this space already.
Yeah,
Um,
and everyone is DeFi is almost a trader,
exactly.
so
No,
that talks to everyone.
yeah, and you speak to them the fact that decentralized actual trading is not something that's very realistic relative to normal dexes. But with this, kind of what they envision being able to do and the speed at which they can execute is far superior.
Yeah, and really for adoption is it's great because bringing people outside the blockchain to a platform like us is pretty hard. I mean, if they are trading on a centralized exchange, for example, and they see the benefits, they might create a MetaMask wallet and
Yeah.
have the effort. But it's really easier to bring people who are already familiar with DeFi, and most of them are traders. So anyway, so
Yeah.
that's really nice.
No, I think a lot of people in our community will be very interested to give this a go because they are so used to centralized trading.
Yeah, and it's really the best moment to do it. I've checked the minimum reward for the contest is 20 matic. So if
Nice.
you just come and open a trade and make a profit, you are almost sure to earn
I was gonna
$30
say, yeah,
of
30
of
something
matic.
dollars. Yeah,
So I mean
that's that's
that's
a
quite a good incentive.
absolutely. Absolutely. I will share it with the community. Is there anything else I should know about the platform, where you're going, or anything else we haven't really covered today that you'd like to cover?
But yes, the roadmap we plan to add a lot of other markets. I mean, if we can add all markets, it will be ideal. We just need the APIs. So there is quite some research to do and everything, but it should be doable.
Sure.
So the plan is to add the stocks, commodities, indices, and really anything that's
Wow.
highly liquid. So that will
Oh,
be really nice.
that will be very nice. So beyond adding more pairs, you'll be able to cover all kinds of markets with synthetic.
Yeah. And the good thing is we can list stocks, for example, without tokenizing any stock. The stock, he, the platform doesn't care if it's a stock or if it's a cryptocurrency. It's just a price. It's just an API. So compared to other projects who are trying to tokenize stocks and make synthetic stocks, there can be quite a lot more regulatory issues with
Yeah.
this kind of projects.
Yep.
As us, it's just a price feed. So
Yeah. It doesn't matter because you're not trading the actual stock certificate
yeah,
itself. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, there is just GNS and DICE.
Well, I tell you, as a pretty active trader, having one place where I can trade, for example, our mean reversion indicator does beautifully with Tesla, right? Enough volatility
Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. Mm.
for that to work. But I've never taken the time. I watch it and I check it, track what it's doing, our indicator on Tesla, but I've never taken the time to, extract funds, put them in a regular broker account and trade Tesla on that exchange.
Hmm.
But with
Yeah.
this, I can hop between Forex and crypto and stocks and commodities
Mhm.
all in one
Yeah, it'll be
interface.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, when you work, excuse me, when you want to bring funds to a broker, it's not crypto, so it's always
Uh-huh. Exactly.
it's not smooth. So
Exactly.
and then you have to take your money out of the brokerage, and I mean it's a lot of it's useless stress. If
Yeah.
it's directly from your wallet, then it's just yours, and you don't have to claim your money back. It's just in your wallet.
Exactly. No, that's beautiful. And I just thought of something related to that and I can't. And the white label component of it makes it so that, anyone for any community could essentially create, um, an experience around trading like this where
Mhm.
they already have the ability to onboard people because they have people that are interested.
Yeah, I think we have someone in the community building something quite interesting and quite funny. He built a random. Basically, you go to the interface and it generates a random trade for you.
Huh,
And if you feel lucky, you can
that's a
you
lot
can
of
just
fun.
click a button and it will.
You've already got the casino.
Yeah, I thought it was really a creative idea. Like
Uh,
it,
I think people will take advantage of that. And the beauty of it is they don't have to transfer funds in, they just connect their wallet. That's
yeah.
awesome.
And also on the roadmap, we have cross pairs because once again, since everything is just prices and APIs, we can list entirely new pairs just by dividing one by the other. So, for example,
Oh,
if we have Tesla and Doge, we can create a new Tesla Doge pair,
that's crazy.
or really anything. Like if we have oil, we could do oil Bitcoin, or you know.
Oh, you want to get Elon Musk's attention with that Tesla Doge. He'd be all over that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That's brilliant. Oh my God, there are going to be so many permutations of it.
Yeah, and so this way we can also list like all Bitcoin pairs for the cryptos we have, and maybe even ETH pairs if there is demand. And yeah, really the cross pairs there is a lot we can do with that.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, anything else on the roadmap?
Yes, so GNS staking will also come because we plan to own the GNS DAI liquidity over the long term
Good.
with the protocol fees we generate. And this way we can redirect the incentives going to GNS DAI to a single GNS staking pool.
Oh,
So that's
that's
the plan. That will take quite some time, but because owning 15 million of liquidity doesn't take 2 days.
no, no.
So, but I think
Well,
we'll get there eventually.
yeah, and the beauty of that is that you can build it up over time and you still have everything functional the way you want it now, and then you'll get
Yeah.
to the point where you own your own liquidity. That's
Mhm.
key.
And this way, there is more incentives going to GNS because otherwise we incentivize half die, which is not ideal because we want to keep the money flowing into the token and into the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So that's more optimized to own the liquidity. And also we want to work towards more social trading features. So I'm not sure yet how it will look like, but I really want to go in this direction.
Ah, so you could
So
follow. So like one of these leaders like CFCC, people could follow and
mhm.
he could earn or she could earn money off of the successful trades for the
Yeah,
people that are
maybe
following.
maybe something like
I love that.
you stake in a pool, and he opens a trade, it automatically like uses the pooled funds to trade too, and maybe he gets a share of that or something similar. So I'm not sure if this is exactly doable this way, but I think we can come up with great ideas in this direction. And also recently we have added chat on the trading page, so everyone can share trade ideas and discuss. And that's the first step towards our social trading roadmap.
I really hope you're able to do that because I'd love to set up a bot for my mean reversion indicator and have our community following our trades directly here. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
That's amazing.
And the last thing is V7 will come. So right now it's V5, V6 is coming in a few weeks, and then V7 will be partial adding to trades. To, for example, if you want to add collateral to your trade to lower your leverage, you will be able to.
Very nice.
Or if you want to do pyramiding, like you want to add to your position at the same leverage, and it will move your entry price. So you will be able to too. And also, if you want to close your trade in multiple parts with V7, it will be possible. And then also long term, we want to really build on a ZK rollup because we believe it's the end game of Ethereum scaling. And right now, I mean, for example, Polygon is really, really good, but on a ZK rollup, you would open and close trades instantly in like 0.2 seconds or something.
Yeah.
So it will be like a 10x speed improvement even, and it will maintain more security from Ethereum too.
And you have no limit. Like eventually this thing grows enough, you really have no limits to growth, right? You don't have, you're not dependent on market volumes. You're not dependent on anything because it exists on its own and it's synthetic. So the faster it is, the more people are likely to want to use it.
The only dependency we have is spot exchanges, but I think we can safely assume they will continue to exist.
Yes, exactly.
So it's not even as if we depended on other leverage trading platforms. Really, we just need the spot exchanges prices, and we're good to go. So I don't think we can. It's reasonable to think that spot exchanges will disappear because everybody will keep wanting to trade the real asset. Because of course on GTrade you don't own the asset you trade, so that's the only dependency we have.
Right.
And it's really scalable.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it, is that it is so scalable to the trading system. Before you got into this, were you an experienced trader or did you have to learn a lot about trading?
I did quite some trading for a few years, and that helped definitely a lot. If I didn't have a trading experience, I wouldn't have built it like it is now.
Yeah. There's a question I ask everybody that comes on the show, and that is there a project or a person in crypto and DeFi that you have a great deal of respect for, or that you think is really important and doing really innovative things in the space that you have a lot of respect for?
Well, there is not one that comes really to my mind right now, but there are quite a few cool projects out there. Yeah, I don't spend much time researching other projects currently, so
Because you don't have any time.
we're trying to innovate our own projects.
That's cool. That's fine.
But I've heard of Jarvis Network, which is they do stable coins. I think it's really, really interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Well, stable coins are huge right now. Is there any chance you think you'll always be DAI-based platform for trading? Yeah.
But maybe we can offer more stablecoin types to interact with the trading. If we could add a swap on top of it, and it's just an additional small fee, and
Cool.
you could trade directly with USDC or something. Yeah, that could be doable.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, Sebastian, I'm really blown away. I'm blown away by what you've created by yourself. I would be blown away if it wasn't just you. So the fact that you did this by yourself is truly incredible, man. It's really It's an amazing piece of work that you've launched something that's grown so well and providing something of value to the community.
Yeah, really bringing value is the core principle of our ecosystem.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely.